along with her. Tanvi, over to you.
Thanks for that, Aarti. Good evening and good to have you with us for this special conversation. Viewers, the big focus here on Mirror Now has been on what's happening in Maharashtra, the state with the highest number of cases, and things don't seem to be slowing down at all. In fact, if anything, right now, Mumbai is in the thick of things, and we're seeing a very, very steep rise in cases on a daily basis. So how is it going to be dealt with? The Maharashtra government has received quite a bit of flack in the last 1 week. To help us understand the way forward is Maharashtra Minister Mr. Jayant Patil. Mr. Patil, thank you so much for joining us. Let's first talk about some of the other parts of Maharashtra. The fact is that out of the 36 districts now, Mr. Patil, 34 districts have COVID cases. Even the center has now raised this issue about Maharashtra repeatedly. Do you think somewhere we are going wrong with our policy?
No, actually, if you look very carefully, most of the districts where initially the COVID came up, maybe found COVID cases, those cases were turned to negative eventually in 15, 20 days. Those people are back home. But now the migration from the urban areas, especially from Pune and Mumbai to the rural area, bring up some cases. Now, the bus which went to Punjab and came back, we had 3 to 4 drivers COVID positive, and then thereafter it increased number of cases went up in Nanded also. So there are cases where there are districts where most of the districts which are now fairly under control, except place in Nasik district, Malegaon, and some urban pockets in Vidarbha and Marathwada and Western Maharashtra. But the rural area is almost clear in most of the districts like Chandrapur, Gadchiroli. If you go to eastern part of the state, for example, I'll give you example of Solapur. Solapur city has COVID cases, about 124 when I was there about 4 days ago. But rural area did not have a single case. Similarly is the case in Kolhapur district, very clear district, hardly any cases there. Sangli also did have about 26 cases, 25 cases initially, but all of them went safely back. But we did have cases coming from outside the district. And we have now about 8 to 10 cases which are positive, but scattered in places. And those are the cases which have migrated from city of Mumbai. So rural area, we don't think there is any issue. Everything is under control, except place like Malegaon and urban areas like Pune and Mumbai.
But Mr. Patil, even now we are looking at, more of migrant within the state movement, also people who are stuck in the cities wanting to go back home, and that is being facilitated. Have we changed the policy at least? Are we pre-testing them before they go, or are we ensuring they are in quarantine after they reach? How do we avoid this problem from getting bigger? And, it's not just Maharashtra. We are sending people all over the country from here without really screening them, and thereby, that risk remains.
Yeah, you are right. And what best we can do is test the patient who wants to leave Maharashtra. We can test them and then allow them to sit in the train or ST bus. We are now helping migrants to reach up to the at least border of the state, because people actually, when the first lockdown was announced, I had tweeted mentioning that we should have given time to Indian people to decide where to go, and we should have given about 48 hours or 72 hours before we started our lockdown. Unfortunately, that time was not given. I tweeted, people trolled me and started saying, we are politicizing the issue. But that was not the case. Now you are showing on television the lady is walking with a small child. This is what has happened eventually. Now we cannot keep people at one place for more than so many days. Now almost over 1.5, 2 months have passed. And that is why there is a reaction among people, and everybody wants to. Now, people living in Mumbai, their relatives call them and tell them ki, you come back, don't stay in Mumbai because number of cases are growing in Mumbai. So people take risks and start walking on the street.
Correct.
Now today Maharashtra government has decided that yesterday we took the decision that our state transport buses will pick them up if wherever they are walking on the street, on the highways. We will request them to sit in the bus and we will take them to the border of our state. At least that distance we will cover for them. We don't know whether the neighboring state is going to accept them or not. But since they are insisting, we have to, we have to see that they are delivered to the border of the state. They have not taken any permit from us. They have not asked any permission. The people who are asking permission, we are letting them go by train, and state transport buses are also helping on mass scale to transfer people from one end to the other end. But I think now the situation is people have become restless. They want to go back to their home, and wherever they are, for example, if they are living in Dharavi, they are living in a small room. We have 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 people living in a uh, small that jhogi jhopdi. So this is a problem for all the densely areas in Mumbai. And Mumbai has a peculiar problem. We have almost about 6 lakh people's density per square kilometer. Nowhere in the world you will find this density. We had about 2 days ago, we had about 480 students tested and sent to Salem, Tamil Nadu from Maharashtra
Yes.
government and sending them. This is what officially, if they ask us permission, we test them and give certificate and allow them to leave the state, provided they get permission from that state. The people which you are showing now, this gentleman has no permission for his child. These two ladies which are walking on the street now, you are showing, they have no permission. They have just started. So this is the basic problem. So if we had given time for them to decide where they want to go and live, this situation would not have arisen. This is the largest migration one can see after the division of the country between Pakistan and India. This is the largest migration
Correct.
India is observing, India is seeing.
Correct, Nanan, and you know, maybe we should have thought about this earlier and done this earlier if we had to give in to, enabling this movement. Mr. Patil, I'm right now focusing within Maharashtra because you said since people from urban cities move back to their rural villages, and that's led to more districts in Maharashtra getting cases. I'm asking you, how do we ensure that as more and more people walk back, and it's not just people outside the state, within the state also from Mumbai and Pune, people are going back to their villages in Maharashtra. How do we ensure when they reach their village, if they are carrying the infection, it doesn't, spread to others?
No, I'll give you one example. For example, Sangli district, we have one area, one taluka, where we have about 16,000 people who came back from Mumbai. But all of them, we have made them to stay home. Home quarantine is a must. There is no compromise on that. And after that home quarantine, if there are some cases with symptoms, we immediately take them out, quarantine them, and the contacts are traced, and immediately those people also are quarantined. So it is properly managed. But now the problem is people are wanting to go back desperately back their home. Some people have come for some other reason to Mumbai and they want to go back. So we have restricted people's movement on the road. Police are telling them that vehicles are available, take proper permission and leave. But sometimes if they are staying outskirts of Mumbai, they are able to manage their way out of Mumbai, then they keep walking. But for all of them, we have made provision of the buses, so they will be picked up. Now, some people like this who are traveling, walking on the rail tracks, it is very dangerous. Which was we had a very bad accident in Aurangabad the other day. So those people who are walking on the track, they think that nobody can stop on the railway tracks. But we are trying and finding out who is walking on the railway track, and they will also be brought out and sent to their destination by bus as far as possible.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about our biggest challenge. And Maharashtra's biggest challenge, in fact, India's biggest challenge, is Pune and Mumbai. Mumbai today, Mr. Patil, is contributing to 20% of the cases across the country. 20% are coming from Mumbai. In the last 9 days, we've had over 5,000 cases being reported in Mumbai. Now it seems that we didn't use the lockdown time properly the first 6 weeks. The government and the civic body are now asking for defense hospitals, railway hospitals, setting up more quarantine centers. Shouldn't some of this have been done in the first 6 weeks of the lockdown?
No, actually, we have made provisions. The only issue is the asymptomatic cases are also admitted in the hospital. Now, if we can make provision of asymptomatic cases outside the hospitals, but with all the necessary facilities, I think the situation will come under control. So government has almost built 2,000 beds hospital, temporary hospitals in Goregaon, in BKC and Racecourse. So about 2,000 beds are almost ready. About 80% work is done. So if we are able to transfer asymptomatic cases to these places and only critical cases are taken into the big hospitals, I think we will be able to manage the scene. But in spite of that, if, as you said, the cases are growing, and I told you the reason for the number is going up, and that is the densely populated area in Mumbai and Greater Mumbai. So this location of Mumbai, Dharavi, for example, or you go to any other area where it is densely populated, the number is growing because the huts are so close to each other that one man also cannot pass through that lane. So it is likely, and they use common facility. I am not just giving reasons, but I am telling you this is the main reason. And we have about more than almost 1,000 containment zones in city of Mumbai. We are strictly adhering to the rules. Police is taking care of these containment zones. People are about 3 to 4,000 people are on the job for doing surveillance, checking the people who live in this area. And it is on a mass scale that Mumbai city has taken drive. And on top of it, we have almost 10,000 cases. We test 10,000 samples every day. This is the every day. So this is the largest sample testing in India almost. And so that is why more we test, we get
Correct.
more people positive. I think we will be able to control the situation earliest.
Okay, so but here is what sometimes it looks like, Mr. Patil, and I'm not just talking about your rivals raising this issue, that this government and the civic body of Mumbai, they seem to be within the government, everybody seems to be moving in different directions. Within the coalition, different parties have different views of how to handle it, and everybody seems to be working in their own silos, which is why there are mixed signals and policy flip-flops which are happening.
No, that is absolutely wrong. Some people have started doing politics and taking advantage of the situation. But we all are on the same page. The three parties and our leader, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, he personally is monitoring situation in Mumbai, and he knows ins and outs of Mumbai city because their party, Shiv Sena, is ruling Mumbai for a long time. So we all are on the same page. There are no different signals being given by the ministers or by the parties outside. And especially for Mumbai, we cannot compare to any other city or any urban body anywhere in the world because, as I told you, the density of population in this area. So we will have to take tough stand, which we have taken. And entire body, you see this gentleman who is commissioner, I believe, in Mumbai city, who was appointed yesterday night, day before yesterday, who is also workaholic man, who was under my irrigation department first. I know him very well. We have confidence that he will show very good results eventually.
Okay, the other issue has been about, like you said, Mumbai is a very different case, extremely crowded. We have lots of slum areas. We've tried different policies, whether to keep them there, carry out the thermal screening. Then we said, no, we can't do thermal screening. It's not working in these temperatures. We need to pull out the high risk cases. And so we are trying different things. Mr. Patil, now all experts, including those from the central government, have said that we have to learn to live with the virus. You know, the biggest of the experts have said we need to learn to live with the virus. What does that mean for the urban areas of Maharashtra?
That means we won't be able to eradicate this virus totally till we get some medicine on this. Until then, there will be some cases here and there. We will have to take care of them. We have to protect our elder persons who are above 60 age. And we have to see to that virus doesn't reach to the elderly population. And because eradication of entire virus totally from India may take about 4 to 5 months. But if we control it by creating containment zone, monitoring these containment zones properly and effectively, I think I am confident eventually we will come out of it. But there will remain virus, and some cases will keep coming. Will experience some numbers coming up in different parts of this country.
Yes, no, and I agree what you're saying, and I ask you this question because especially for Mumbai, all trends and statistics seem to suggest that this is going to take some time for the cases to also come down. So should we be prepared for a longer term of restrictions here? We tried to open up the shops, but the crowding became such an issue that we decided to shut those shops again. Now, so for how long do we shut the business activity here?
Yeah, Tanvi, you are right. Mumbai, even after 92's blast, Mumbai did not stop, and Mumbai cannot afford to stop. You have seen what has happened in last 2 months. This is the first time in last several years, in almost last 100 years, Mumbai has come to standstill. This is the first time that Mumbai people have stopped coming out of their houses. This has never happened before, and we cannot afford to keep Mumbai shut forever. So once this number comes under control, once we turn these positive cases into negative cases, I'm sure we will have to release the restrictions on these containment zones slowly and steadily. Now, people cannot remain in their houses when 4 and 5 members are living in small room. So that also we will have to consider. So I'm sure slowly the time is the only remedy as far as the asymptomatic cases are concerned. The symptomatic cases are concerned, we are admitting them in the hospital and we are taking their care. Sometimes hospitals are full and flooded, and that is why some issues come up. So that is why we have created about 2,000 beds facility in Racecourse, BKC, and Goregaon.
Okay, Mr. Patil, a question about the ministry that you personally look at, which is on irrigation and water resources. You have raised the issue of fund crunch, and you have said in a recent report suggests that 22,000 laborers in various camps, irrigation camps, are being taken care by the government. Can you tell us what are the possible solutions to this problem?
No, we took decision after the lockdown. We took decision that these sites are in remote areas of Maharashtra, in rural areas. So the site which has a like a containment zone, because nobody is going there, coming out from there. Those restricted areas, we have allowed those sites to operate, and the work was going on because we cannot afford to shut the site for no reason. If there is a positive case, then yes, there is a reason to stop the site.
Correct.
But fortunately, we did not come across any patient, any positive case in entire Maharashtra where our site was operating on. So we have continued our construction activity in the rural irrigation projects, and now, of course, because of COVID, nothing is coming in treasury. So probably we'll have some limitations on continuation of the work unless and until we get funds further. Maybe after 3 months, 4 months, we will have to stop these construction activities in some areas in Maharashtra.
Um, Sorry, I didn't understand that. You are saying you will have to stop the construction activity for lack of funds or because you need to use these funds for COVID related purposes.
Our priority is COVID related purposes. And whatever is possible,
Correct.
we are putting our
Correct.
funds for COVID. What I have been saying is, though there was a lockdown, the construction activity in irrigation
Hmm.
site was on. But now, after 3 months, 4 months, as we ask more money from the Treasury, and Treasury is going to tell us that it is not possible because the revenue has gone down, we may have to slow down or stop some areas where construction activity is going on. And actually, all the farmers, their activity is on. For example, I have been, if the water distribution complaints are there, I am attending those water distribution complaints in the rural Maharashtra. Like, for example, a place called Purna in Parvani district. Farmer called me, and we immediately had a Skype meeting and solved his that area's problem. So that work is going on. But the construction activity where the new dam and canal work is going on, that will have limitation eventually. Not now, the works are on. But eventually, as we are short of funds, we will have to slow it down or stop it.
Okay, but again, since you raised the issue of funds, and this will be a big challenge for all the states, even for the center, it's not as if the center has a lot of money right now, Mr. Patil. The farmers have begun to raise this issue. The onion farmers are in a bit of a fix. Many other farmers in the border areas, including in Varda, are unable to access their land. They are raising this issue. You will have 20,000 laborers who are working in these irrigation projects who won't have anything to do if the project comes to a standstill. What avenues will the state look at for funds, for money that we need this year?
No, we have formed a committee under senior retired IS officers and existing IS officers who are working in the government. And they have given us an excellent document of economic revival of Maharashtra post COVID-19 lockdown. So this document is with me, and extraordinarily, about 10 to 12 IS officers sat together and given us a report which we have the small committee of the cabinet ministers have also deliberated on these issues. We have decided how the industry will open up, industry will start, and how the job oriented units will start now. So slowly and steadily, in green zone area, as per the government of India's guideline, in green zone area, we are starting our industry. And orange zone area also with the social distancing, we are starting some activities of shops and other activities. So economic activities will begin slowly, I'm sure, except Mumbai and Pune, where the situation is not under control as far as number of cases are concerned. But I am sure within 8 to 10 days time, this number also will start going down.
All right, Mr. Jayant Patil, you have patiently answered a lot of our questions, and thank you for that, because honestly, right now, Maharashtra and specifically Mumbai and Pune are a big concern. And as you're pointing out, this is going to be a long drawn battle. The economic revival, restarting of industries, government support there for our farmers, for our migrants and laborers, and even for construction projects. There is a lot that the government needs to look at right away. Thank you so much for joining us right now on this
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you. Thank you.